taken off the table. And then on the other side, Yone, Ambessa, and Varus all taken off.
I do think it's interesting here because 100 Thieves could potentially leave Jayce open and say, hey, Impact, you're not actually going to be able to play this because those kind of are the big three right now in top lane is the Ambessa, the Xante. The both have been banned away. They ban out that Kalista, so they do leave the Jayce open. Jayce, Rumble, both very popular, high prio in top lane right now, so it'll be interesting to see if they do elect to go towards either of those.
Yeah, and we see the Vi hover coming out right now, locked in for Umti. That also is a bit of a takeaway from River, in my opinion. I think River really excels on the Vi. It allows him to interact with his lanes a lot more. And Umti was kind of a little shaky last week with TL.
Yeah, he was, but they still managed to 2-0. Both of these teams did manage to 2-0. I also think there's a slight fearless element to first picking the Vi away from River. If it's something you're afraid of him playing, the fact that you're playing it in game one is also like banning it for the rest of the series. Even if you're not completely confident it's the optimal first pick, it could be the optimal first pick for the series overall.
And on the side of 100 Thieves, we have the Jayce Moakai setup. Moakai provides such great setup and lockdown for the poke that comes out of Jayce. We also don't necessarily know where these champions are going, right? Like theoretically, Moakai could still go top for Sniper. They talked about him playing more tanks in the boot camp, right? So we'll see if that is for River and whether the Jayce is for Sniper or Quid.
And on the other side, Corki was played by Yeon last week, but obviously could still go mid as well. So a lot of really flexible champions being locked in thus far.
Yeah, Corki is a true flex. It's the third most played in bot and the third most played in mid in pro right now. So it really is quite popular across the board.
Yeah, and we could potentially, with the Corki locked in and the Poppy locked in for on the side of 100 Thieves. The Corki is really interesting, though. I'm glad you brought it up. There was a flex because we were kind of expecting APA to pull it out, right? But he had such a great game on the Taliyah when they flexed it, and the Vi Taliyah is such a great combo. I'm expecting to see that banned out in this second round by 100 Thieves.
Poppy going to be locked in. This will be interesting. You know, I am kind of expecting it to go support. You definitely don't want to play it into the Rumble. Could be jungle. You know, there is possibility of flexing things around a lot, but I am kind of operating under the assumption that it will be support.
Yep.
You know, be able to shut down some of the engages. We know Core loves playing these hard engage type champs, which are hard to pick into Poppy. Poppy really is a neutralizer in these 2v2s. And it just kind of shuts down any of the picks like, you know, Alistar and Nautilus and things like that.
I agree. I also think because Moakai is going to be either Moakai or Poppy are fine junglers into Vi, but I am waiting to see when the support Moakai makes its way into pro because I've seen so much of it in really high elo challenger solo queue with basically AP support Moakai just leading the team in damage, but it's a little bit more of a greedy support build that is harder to pull off in pro play.
Yeah.
You can also see that they 100 Thieves know, hey, enchanters would be the more difficult things to actually lane against in the 2v2, so they are going to be banning out the Ashe as well as the Lulu here, so giving a nod to the fact that this might not be the marksman pick, the Corki, and is going to be mid lane banned out on the other side by TL thus far. See the Azir getting banned out, and they will have one more ban to give. It might just be another thrown towards Quid. Most people, when they are playing against 100 Thieves, are most concerned about the mid and jungle.
Yeah. And this is where I am really curious to see what TL do if they do end up flexing that Corki bot and going for the Vi Taliyah combo, because I think as much as we talk about APA being really strong on something like the Corki, their TL's like map awareness overall, being able to move him around the map, take down turrets. I thought his Taliyah game, and I think his Taliyah in general, is one of his strongest champions for the same reasons, right? It allows this kind of spread map play that TL really like to do.
And with the Ezreal being locked in for 100 Thieves, it's a very non-committal poke draft at the moment. So if Team Liquid picks either too short range or too much dive, they have to be really careful here with these last two picks. I'm trying to figure out exactly what they'd want to go for. They could still try and do something lane dominant. Lulu's not the only enchanter support that CoreJJ could play. Renata's still on the table if he wanted to go in that direction. So we'll see.
Also another really lane dominant pick if they want to go that direction, but not going to actually lock it in. Will be the Nautilus here. So it is very standard stuff, as you say. And now we have to find out, is it going to be an AD or is it going to be a mid laner here for APA and Yeon? Where will the Corki go?
The nice thing here is that both work, so it's pretty much just a preference of whether Yeon likes the pick. I know APA is very comfortable on Corki, and you've already mentioned the Taliyah being a strong pick, so they have plenty of options here.
I mean, you can even play double ADC if you wanted, but instead they are going to go towards the Aurora, so it gives them a lot more pick. Aurora plus Vi plus Rumble plus Nautilus. It is a ton of dive here going in aggressively towards the other side. Poppy, Moakai are really good as far as the counter engage and can be difficult to dive through. Ezreal can be difficult to get on. You know, you can potentially see the Jayce going towards a tankier build, so I don't think that there's the easiest dive targets yet, and that's why I'm a little bit surprised to see TL kind of committing so heavily towards this dive. And it is going to be a Jayce mid, so Ornn coming through. So it should be Ornn top, I think, for Sniper. And I think we'll get to see a Sniper tank here. I would be really surprised if it does end up being Poppy. I don't think you go Poppy top against Rumble. That is a really tough matchup.
Yeah, and I am also super curious to see this out of Sniper, right? Because they did talk about how, I believe it was Spooks or Golden Glue who came out and said, came out and said, like, actually, I think he's been performing a lot better on tanks coming out of the big boot camp they had. So it'll be really curious to see, because I feel like one of Sniper's weaknesses last split was joining up with the rest of the team for team fights.
TL basically drafted what I would expect to see, or excuse me, 100 Thieves drafted a TL draft from last year.
Definitely.
2 threats, three tanks.
The biggest fear I have here, so Sniper's played 3 games of Ornn in his career on stage, won 2 of them, so it's not like it's been a cursed champion for him. It's just not something he normally plays. If you pick Ornn top, a lot of times I like to see a jungler who can do damage, because when you run Ornn and potentially a tank Moakai up into a side lane,
I think he's
sometimes you just get 1v2'd.
I think he will go AP because they are pretty much
on the Moakai. On the Moakai,
exactly. The Moakai, I think, will go AP, but I agree. You know, it is not a tremendous amount of damage. It's more about the poke and the saplings, even if you do go for Leandries, but it'll be an interesting one here, and we'll see if 100 Thieves coming in definitely as the underdogs can battle it out against TL.
I love the little, it's a good luck, have fun from APA and Impact, and then Sniper says, you too, baby girl.
There's already a lot of banter, and at the moment, especially after what Sniper said on Pros last week about XU getting in his head, APA is completely emboldened to type as much as possible to try and throw Sniper off his game.
Spamming the R7 emote as a call out to Worlds. Speaking of Worlds, this is, I believe, the second time we've seen TL trot out the Aurora. The first time was actually Impact on that pick.
They're going to be spotted on this invade, but River is surrounded.
Might have to flash.
Oof.
Yeah, that's tough. River losing the flash already. Nice little level 1 plan there from TL. They go for the wraparound. To me, that screams of early scouting, right? Of looking where people start in their level 1s and being able to anticipate that someone could be in that side brush. They punish it, and they are going to go into the lane swap here as you see Yeon and CoreJJ heading up towards top side.
But we also see Sniper headed down bot, right? So it really does look like we're going to end up with Australian lanes for the Australian coaches.
And I think this is going to be something that Team Liquid is pretty happy with. I think Impact would actually like to 1v1 against an Ornn rather than get swapped. So the early scouting, getting the ward on the red buff are all good things for TL. Because even though 100 Thieves is here, they're not going to be able to do anything with that space.
And before we get too much in the action, I know a thing or two about curses. And Emily, I've heard you've got one of your own.
Yeah, so, okay. This is the courage curse going into me.
Wait, that win rate is getting pretty low.
100 Thieves, yeah. So the wins, I believe, were NRG and Dig. And
you're the curse.
It's been all other losses to TL or FlyQuest.
Why do you hate 100 Thieves?
I don't. They're one of my favorite teams last year. That sounds like someone. I am a curse. I'm a curse to any team I follow. I'm a KT Rolster fan.
River actually hasn't been spotted, though, with what he's done, though. He went Raptors to enemy Wolves, and now he's clearing out the blue side from Umti. And since Team Liquid didn't have any wards, other than the 1 ward on red buff, Umti could think that River just started on River's blue, and he's going to walk into an empty jungle here. Maybe catch him at blue buff, though, if he's fast.
And they are going to spot him out on that ward.
He's going to straight check it. Now River's going to have to likely back up here.
Yeah, it looks like he will, but Poppy is coming over, so they are going to try to scrap it out. Poppy's coming, and Poppy has that first move, so Eyla's going to be here. APA trying to move over. Was grabbed there, though, by Umti. It looked like I think he got the smite on it.
Yeah, so that was interesting. River went for the fight. Umti went for the buff secure. Normally, the Moakai buff secure is Q smite, but he Q'd Umti for the damage, so therefore Umti had his E left to spike it with his own E smite, and then he's able to Q away. So actually well played there by Umti after getting invaded.
Oh, and now Umti is behind Quid. He just TP'd TP back in, so this would be a really rough timing to get ganked. Wallbreaker getting charged up. Will he get the flash out? Nice sidestep, knocks it back into the tower, and goes to the skies. Doesn't quite have the damage to finish him off, but he's trying to threaten. He flashes forward. Quid with the monster outplay in the 1v2. What a move from him.
Ooh, that is really...
He just broke brother's ankles.
Really rough for Umti and APA. They saw the opportunity and then, yeah, wow. Really, really good on Quid. And another, like, kind of rough start for Umti coming out, being a little bit hesitant around this mid lane play.
Yeah, but think of the confidence from Quid here. He steps forward with the plan to hit him back into the turret. It's one of those things where Umti's just thinking, well, surely if I land the Q, I'm going to burn his flash. That's all he's thinking about. He's not thinking that there's a chance he dies there.
Nice, Quid. Oh, the mid goat.
I mean, that was so sick because everything has to go right there. He steps, as you say, Jatt, steps forward to knock him back. He doesn't panic and use his flash, so then he can land the Q flash to follow and get the first blood. You know, that was just beautifully done there by Quid.
And again, it speaks to how much Quid and River are, in my opinion, the engine of this 100 Thieves team, right? When something is happening early, one or both of them are involved. And even in a world where we haven't seen junglers necessarily be as interactive with their lanes early like we would expect from River, they're able to punish Umti for doing the same. Oh, we have a
Ayla
fight
maybe in a little bit of trouble. Ignite gonna get thrown down. They do back off, but in comes River. Yeon now. Remember, he has no cleanse. There's the twisted advance. It's gonna be onto CoreJJ. Knocks him back. Don't get much from it. Surprised that River didn't try to go in for Yeon, but maybe he was worried about getting flashed into the tower or something like that if he goes for the twist advance.
I think that's possible. Ayla and FBI were not in a very good spot there, so this is more of a let's bail out my lane gank rather than let's actually go for a kill. What's interesting about this jungle start is River's really low tempo. I mean, Umti died on his own gank to a solo mid laner and is still ahead in gold and experience.
I think that's just River though, right? Like I feel like whenever we track River, again, it's like
no wonder you hate 100 Thieves.
No,
I mean,
oh my,
doesn't even like River. This is crazy.
My
River,
gosh,
the enemy jungler runs him down.
I would like vote River all pro like no one else is. He loves interacting with his lanes, right? And that's the sacrifice. I remember arguing with Freak about this when he first came into the league, where it's like, okay, how much is River going to be willing to give up in the jungle in terms of actual XP and camps to help out his lanes? Whether it's resetting to get his duo lane a better look, whether it's, again, like going mid to try to reset for Quid to put him in a better spot. Even if he's not necessarily getting a kill, there's always an intent and purpose because he is losing that, like you said, Jatt.
Yeah, but now Umti's level 5, moving towards the Grubs already. Sniper is level 6 and has the ability to teleport in, so I feel like River is at least considering going for a fight here, knowing Umti has no flash. He might be the target.
Yeah, Core is your first though, and APA is in stealth. Goes between the veil, looking for him. Does connect with the twofold hex, but not the weirding. Ayla and FBI moving
Umti,
down.
no
We'll
flash.
see the engage going to be onto Quid. Quid no flash. It's going to get taken down for sure. The teleport's coming in, but it is quite late. Do they have the damage to make it happen here? River on the run. Umti has fallen. Core now the one in trouble. Nice ultimate comes through there from Sniper. A second kill going the way of 100 Thieves. APA though on the side, getting damage done, and TL still healthy. Flash forward from River. Knocks him back with the twisted advance. In with the heroic charges. Ayla finishing him off. FBI untouched here. He has to get a lot of work done. Sniper trying to survive, but the Grubs helping to take him down. Impact trying to get out, but the red buff slows. No flash on him. Surely he is going to get finished. It's a killing spree for FBI. No Grubs taken by 100 Thieves, but they win the fight.
That's some objective battles, and we might be on our way to our first Ruinous Otacon. I don't know. That's the most kills I've seen. At the start of this fight, you could see both teams were just looking to punish the flashless player. Quid does get a little too aggressive on that control ward, but as they are jumping on him, the rest of 100 Thieves knows that Umti has no flash, so it's 1-for-1, and then the fight continues with the TPs.
Yeah, they jump onto Umti, and then Sniper comes in, gets the knockup onto Core with his ultimate. I thought that was really good. When he goes back in, though, he just ends up taking damage after they're able to take out River there. And yeah, maybe we will see our first Ruinous Otacon. I'm very curious.
It's already pretty high tempo. The rest of the Void Grubs did end up going over to Umti during the pause there, so they get the first objective stack by actually getting all 3 of those. It's just going to be difficult for them to deal with FBI at this point in the game because those 3 early kills are going to be pretty lethal for him, and he's coming off of a great week 1 as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, it's a barrier Ezreal. This guy is already going to be really evasive, hard to dive in onto. We'll see if they can make it happen, though. Core going to be looking here for a sniper. Tries to actually searing charge back to the tower, but gets interrupted there. Now getting incredibly low. Umti will come around. Sniper's going to spot him, but I don't think he can just walk his way out. So he's going to try to have to make his stand here under the tower. Has no ultimate, no flash. Can't really see him surviving this one. Nice stuff on the W, but there's just no shot. They get the kill. They'll farm some plates. I see 100 Thieves trying to push up in bot lane, trying to push up in mid lane, but not really much of an answer for them.
That was just a well-played dive by Team Liquid. Sniper did misplay that 2v1 a little bit. When he's in that situation with his Moakai on the other side of the map, he just has to wait for the wave to crash rather than trade. And look at this trade in mid, speaking of which.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things you can see comfort, right? If he actually just W's the hook, as Quid's going to get engaged on again, no flash. Well, he does have it, but it's not going to matter. Cease and desist takes him out.
Yeah, and that was really nice recognition from Umti as soon as Quid went in on that, was pushed up in the lane, was able to punish it, setting up APA into being into a pretty good spot with this mid Aurora.
And Umti's kind of everywhere lately. He supported that dive top lane. He rolls mid and takes another kill. Those are the sequences when you are, let's say, River, that you're just furious that your two laners just kind of, guy dies top and then the mid laner just pushes up for the natural path down of the jungler. I think that is definitely a bit of a misplay by Quid to get aggressive in that moment. However, they will be able to pick up this Drake.
Yeah, I was gonna say, we're gonna see them responding on the bot side with this Drake pickup in response. So getting a neutral objective for themselves as FBI and Eyla head back into this 2v2 lane bot.
Yep, it is a pretty close game. About 1,000 in the lead is TL. Core 6 now on that bottom side, so if they do go too far forward, there is potential for them to look. FBI and Eyla trying to play it very safe here. Hex Flash getting channeled. Nice buffer out from FBI. Quick on that arcane shift, but has to be a little bit safe, knowing now that Nautilus will have the ultimate available and he won't have his E or flash for a couple seconds.
I think that ultimate from FBI was more to try and suspect that Umti was sitting in that bush because he was a little curious about how aggressive Core was getting. River is kind of in support position if a gank were to come.
Yeah, both junglers about equally close here. You know, you can see the Umti's down on the Krugs. River, you know, was just taking that scuttle down in mid lane, and Quid again just trying to push up. Has the flash back, but it's going to be Eyla trying to check this tri-ward and does regret it. It's going to be an easy kill there. Umti though wrapped up, and it's going to be a trade kill back very likely. FBI should be able to get donated the kill. FBI now on a rampage. Not a bad trade. Both junglers in the area, and it goes 1 for 1.
Yeah, it definitely seems like anytime one team wants to do something or one team makes a mistake, the other is able to counter at the very least in kills. And the end result here is that FBI is set up really, really well for these mid to late game team fights. And that is, in my opinion, where TL have kind of struggled, right? With the game having so many timers now that you absolutely have to kind of 5v5 around. This Ezreal is going to have so much setup for his team, and he's in a really great spot.
I will say, though, a little bit concerning, you know, it's not the end of the world that tank is behind, but Sniper very far down as far as the farm is. Over 30 CS down. You know, you do need to have enough gold income to be able to build MR and survive against impact, but also not just get killed off by Yeon in the team fights. You know, you need armor and MR in this game.
I agree, and even more than the team fights, the first turret going over if he's this far behind, the fact that he's going to be getting chunked out pretty heavily in lane. So Impact really needs to keep playing with this pressure, and I think we could see yet another brawl here as a TP comes in, and it's 5 players of both teams in the area.
Look at Core on the side again, has the pink ward down, knows that he hasn't been spotted, but now will be by the shock blast from Quid. APA trying to be on a flanking angle here, looking for FBI, connects with the weirding. Nice little chunk on him, and Eyla taking some damage there from Yeon as he tried to walk through. You can see in the top lane, they're both scrapping it out.
Yeah.
Sniper tried to come down, but he's just getting bullied out of there, and now I don't know if they can take this fight. 100 Thieves moving forward though, Moakai going to let the ultimate rip. They're looking for Yeon. Yeon going to Valkyrie back to safety. Now Umti is the target. Flash forward, twisted advance. The equalizer is going to get dropped across everyone. FBI's not in the pit with them, but Quid gets the first kill. Between the worlds goes APA, and he is crushing them in the back of the pit. Sniper trying to re-enter, but can't do it. At the end of the day, it's Eyla very low, but it is just the 1 for 1 of junglers again.
Yeah, but even on that contest, TL end up with the 6 grubs, and the combination of Impact and APA in that fight really ended up turning around. Impact is now...
They want to. It's at 1,200 health with just Rumble Nautilus, but let's see what they can pull off.
Yeah, he is behind. Nice dodge on that, but the ultimate's going to come down. Bellows Breath to actually immune that, but Core is just tanking this up, and Impact trying to finish him off. Doesn't have the damage to do it. Sniper holds on, no physical damage there, has the fully completed magic resist item, so was enough to keep him alive.
I think that was just a little ambitious there by Team Liquid. The idea was right, though. Try and punish and get plates. Looking at this fight one more time, Impact started it really well, especially when the fight is moving a little bit towards the bot side, keeping Ornn out of this fight. But again, with Umti having no flash, it does present himself as a fairly good target. But the fight overall was pretty smartly played by both teams. Yes, 100 Thieves gets the kill, but then they are kind of trapped in the pits and Sniper could never approach. So they're just not going to have as many people there, and they ultimately have to sacrifice a flash and a Moakai to get out of there.
Yep.
Yep, and that is going to be Quid, no flash now. Eyla, no flash. River, no flash, for these subsequent next ones. It's a nice hook there onto FBI, but Yeon is taking so much damage he can't actually follow. The ultimate does not connect, but it's Core who's not going to be able to get out of there. He has no flash, and FBI gets another one. Aggressive move there from Core. Hits the hook, but Yeon was just too low to follow up, and now Eyla going to look. Can't actually find him. Yeon was not caught sleeping. Up top side, they're looking for another dive. They're just going to finish off the tower. And now Sniper might have to try to flash out of there, trying to look to turn this around on Umti. Umti flashes. It's flash to follow. Takes him down. Going to get roasted up here, likely by Impact. We'll see if Impact can finish this off. Searing charge, trying to dodge out on some of these electro harpoons, but can't quite do it. Should have the damage and just barely does. But good job in the 1v2 getting a kill back from Sniper.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's really, really important for Sniper to get that kill back, as we see that first turret going down to TL as well on the front side of that fight. But again, this is one team makes a play, the other team's able to do something. You see where TL have been able to excel kind of in plates and then ending up getting that first turret here. And
Umti is just flinging his body around to try and get advantages for his team. 5 deaths already of the 8. And it feels to me like this game is 100 Thieves often on the back foot and TL just pressing over and over again. They haven't... 100 Thieves hasn't broken yet, though, with FBI being the main problem.
This Dragon, though, would be feats of strength here for TL because they have 6 scrubs. That's 2 of the 3 objectives. They already have that first tower, so this becomes pretty important to contest here for 100 Thieves, but it's TL first to the area and starting up the Dragon.
Ornn's got ultimate. No flashes for Jayce, Moakai,
they're going to look. Ornn's going in between the worlds. The equalizer gets dropped over the top, and FBI just shifts forward, not afraid at all. Umti getting incredibly low. Quid trying to get some work done onto Impact. Eyla buying space in the back line, but Quid's in trouble. APA going forward. FBI has to shift back, has to flash out, trying to turn it around, gets Impact, but it's APA dashing in there with Yeon, taking down the Ezreal. They pick up the bounty. They get the Dragon. TL full control of this game.
That might be the fight that breaks it open as he's almost able to steal it. You could see FBI was mostly untouched for the majority of that fight, but APA is the one who actually did so much work with that mate engage and by the end.
Yeah, APA goes into this, I believe, like with 1 kill, exits with another 3. The big thing is them immediately getting onto River, getting the Rumble ultimate down, does so much damage. River is completely out of the fight, and then Impact getting into the backline, also taking Quid out of this, right?
Yeah.
Because he's constant sustained damage. Eyla goes down here from APA, and even though FBI does get the shutdown, APA is still able to clean up those kills.
You can see FBI's having a good time so far in this game, having 6 kills before falling there, so they're still in it, and we got another fight.
Live. Eyla charging in, trying to lock them down, but I mean, River is just getting cooked up. FBI now arriving. TP comes in from Quid from behind. APA is here as well, though. He's looking for FBI, misses on the weirding. Yeon trying to snipe into the back line, can't quite get it. Quid finishing off Umti on the left side of your screen, and down at the bottom, it's Eyla going forward. It's FBI trying to get back involved. The equalizer going to get dropped on Sniper. Sniper has got to get out of there, but he has no flash, no way home. He falls as well. It looks like TL going to win another fight.
And even with Quid being able to TP in, get around the backline, Impact's Rumble ultimates have been huge in being able to not only do damage, but separate out these team fights so TL can really split their targets, get those kills, and then they just got mid-tier 1 off this as well.
Yeah, the 6 grubs they have at the end of that fight also make it so they can apply pressure after one team fights even more. The Rumble and the Aurora damage is just out of control in this game. I do just love that Umti has died 7 times. Just not in a flamey way, but he's just in there every single time. 100 Thieves actually had to spend a lot of time finishing him off in that fight, and by the time Quid had used everything to try and finish him down, he got him, and 5 CS a minute only, so nice play.
I was going to say, speaking of a flamey way, we did have the 5 CS a minute Ornn coming down. This Ornn not looking so great coming out of Sniper. Impact has really had the best of him in this game.
Yeah, and it's tough, right? You know, he falls behind, he's not getting farm, and then it becomes in a situation where the team is just trying to group and fight, which means you're getting less and less gold. Your team is not winning those fights. FBI shifting back to safety. You know, they showed up, they didn't answer the side lanes, and they get nothing here. 100 Thieves are still just kind of grouped, looking to see if they can find a scrap. We'll see if they even win it. Sniper going to let the Ornn go. Can't get the redirect until just the last second, but on the side, Quid is in trouble as APA is in on him. FBI able to take down Umti, though, and now Impact is completely separated from the team. Going to get taken down by Quid. It's a one fight out of what feels like nowhere from 100 Thieves.
Yeah, but I would say Quid is the unsung hero of that fight because as Jayce, he completely kept APA and more people away from that fight, so 100 Thieves just had the numbers advantage because no one could get through the Jayce.
Yeah, the important thing to me here is, again, you see APA is going to be coming up around on the flank, and this actually allows the Moakai and Ornn combination to go off. The Rumble ult doesn't hit many people, and Quid is still able to get right into the backline, while AP is only able to get into the fight at the very, very end.
Yeah, the thing I noticed there is River's ultimate tagging Yeon's Corki made it so kind of the Aurora and the Corki were out of that fight. So it just ended up being, even though they were 4,000 gold down, super advantage for 100 Thieves.
And that's 100 Thieves' window back into this game, right? They have a 7, 1, and 5 Ezreal. They have great setup for the poke that this Jayce can do and this Ezreal can do with the Ornn, with the Moakai. When you see it comboed together, it's going to end up looking really good if they can pay attention to their flanks like they did.
Yeah, not to mention they just got the Manamune transform on both the Jayce and the Ezreal, so they're on a little bit of a power spike at the moment, and even though Sniper is racing up to 5 CS per minute, his items are kind of the same as Impact at the moment without the Riftmaker being completed. So Impact is way ahead in gold, 1.6k, but the actual power that he's given at the moment is not massively more.
Yeah, I mean, Sniper definitely needs to get some experience, though, at least so he can start getting those Ornn upgrades in. You know, that is an important part of it. But as you pointed out, you know, this is not a tank Jayce. This is a damaged Jayce. This is the head-to-head between Sniper and Impact.
Oh my goodness.
I feel like it's not really fair to compare the damage numbers, but
25k damage.
You're kind of getting cooked.
25k damage at 20 minutes is
insane.
cooking.
Yeah.
I mean, Impact is having a big game.
He is roasting people on this Rumble.
He's played very well.
It's not a comparison. Those are just two stats that happen to be side by side. Yeah. No flame intended.
Yeah.
It's always Impact in these.
Yeah. I'm actually glad that I get to see Sniper's damage, Impact's damage. I've actually never seen that graphic, the live in-game damage head-to-head.
Yeah.
I want to see more of that.
Sniper wishes you hadn't seen it.
Well, maybe
Sniper
next time it'll look better.
down, you know, it's looking tough. But 100 Thieves out towards the Dragon. They're going to be the first ones to pull it. We can see, obviously, the injury's completed for a while now. FBI going to be hitting this. They are going to be starting up. Eyla taking some poke here from Yeon on the side. Lose about 30% of his health, but now it's going to be the Herald dropped mid and the TP coming in from the Rumble. So TL looking to fight. The Moakai ultimate going to get put out, and Umti's in some trouble in the back of the pit here. We'll see if he can get over. Equalizer is used. Going to be able to claim the Dragon on the side of 100 Thieves. This is a really weird fight. Is down in the bottom. Quid wins out in a 1v1 against APA. Gets a kill there. They get the Dragon. This goes 100 Thieves' way again, even from 3k down. A very strange fight.
Yeah, and I mean, this is, again, 100 Thieves window back in it. The big thing to me, Quid marking APA. He's like, you are not going to be able to get into this fight.
Yeah.
Like, you are not going to be able to get into our setup. And then he ends up 1v1ing him in the bot lane and coming out ahead.
That was massive because Quid was able to do that before getting the shutdown gold on APA's Aurora. He's been able to pull that off in the last two fights, and that, I think, has been the big key to this game is once they've stopped the Aurora flank coming through, then their own version of Moakai, Ornn, Poppy is enough to stop the dive. The Aurora is kind of putting it over the top where they're able to win the fight despite all the anti-dive that 100 Thieves has, but now the Quid is really just turned into this almost peeler who's soloing Aurora in back-to-back fights. It's really turned the game.
And I've got to say, it just felt kind of disjointed from TL because Umti goes into the pit, they TP an Impact, but then he's behind the pit just dropping scrappy equalizer over the wall.
Yeah.
Like, it felt like they fully wanted to commit to it. They dropped, you could have just dropped Herald and charged down mid and taken a tier 2 for free. You could have just pushed out top. You could have done all these different things, but they postured as though they wanted to go for the fight and then didn't commit to it. So maybe getting a little bit nervous now with how these fights are going, but Otacon is spawned and the teleport's coming in now here. This is going to be APA in the flank. I don't think he's been spotted yet. Sniper sectioned out away from the rest of the team. Quid is coming in first though. Impact and Umti sectioned out and burst down. Quid is on a rampage. That's the jungler down. That's the top laner down. And that's APA, egg on his face with a teleport that did nothing.
Yeah.
And Quid is an absolute problem
go
in
over
this
the wall.
game.
He's going to flash a rogue charge into the wall, stuns him. It's Quid with another. It's 100 Thieves at Otacon, and it's the underdogs making it happen. Scrappy fight after fight after fight. 100 Thieves are not going down quiet.
And this is the thing we've called out about TL, right? Like you said, that 100 Thieves drafted this almost TL-esque comp, but it is a great 5v5 comp. It has great setup for their carries. Quid has been doing super well since that first blood in mid lane. He's been marking their flanks so well. APA has not been able to get into so many of these 5v5s, and it's just looked way more coordinated for 100 Thieves because they've been able to pick off targets, because they've been marking APA and where he wants to get in.
Yeah, APA has not been able to sync up with this team whatsoever. I think 70% of that credit goes over to Quid, and then the other 30% would be that TL needs to coordinate a little bit better with the way Umti and APA go in together.
Shifting aggressively. Remember, they have the Otacon GA, so he is down to get scrappy here at this point in the game. They are going to push up. We'll see if they can try to find a dive on the side. It's going to be another catch as APA found out by Eyla. Locked down and burst down. Rack them up and knock them down. 100 Thieves are on a roll here. They get a freebie, and now they're just going to keep the push going.
And they can be as reckless as they want with this Otacon buff being alive at the moment.
Umti going in onto River, but this is Umti potentially in trouble here. Hook is going to land onto Quid. They're going to look for a nice equalizer into the backline. FBI will withdraw. Quid's sure to follow here, you have to think, but not before he gets a kill. Pushing forward on Yeon, trying to take him down with him. Can't quite do it. It's going to be another one. Just Eyla now and Sniper with the Otacon GAs, but they got a couple kills, and they're taking the tower bot.
Yeah, the big thing for me is Quid TPing in here. Sniper was kind of waffling to see whether he'd join the fight for a little bit, but pushing down this bot tier 2. And this is how 100 Thieves use their voracious Otacon. We're never going to see Ruinous if we didn't see it in this game.
This is the bloodiest game I've seen, and we still didn't get it. But the interesting thing about this is I like the start because it's just a straight-up pick onto APA. Eyla had found a great spot to be in, even though he doesn't get the perfect wall plan. Doesn't matter because APA was so out of position here. But the rest of the buff, I think, wasn't super well used by 100 Thieves.
That was a big reaction from APA.
That is a big reaction.
And here we see Sniper has taken down tier 1 in the bot side. I mean, they can be as reckless as they want. Not the best use of voracious Otacon buff, but like also not the worst. You know, like you do want to be chaining it into taking something.
So they have about 15 to 20 seconds of it left on Sniper. If they want to try and just start the Baron and have Sniper peel, it might be worth it. But that, I've also seen that backfire more than once.
You can see the Ornn upgrade starting to come through as well. There's the upgraded Triforce for FBI. APA sneaking around on the side, but I think he was spotted. Yes, indeed he was, as he goes between the veil, trying to get over there and see if he can actually find an angle. Could not do it. Quid now moving down with the rest of the team. As he had gotten top lane moving in their direction. They push out mid. They go back in towards the river. They're trying to force TL to face check and look for a pick here. Shock Blast going to be poking away onto Yeon. It's a difficult spot here, it feels like, for 100 Thieves right now.
Yeah, we'll see. They can just pretty much poke here, play with Fog. I think they really are looking for a pick-off to kind of start it off, or just get some poke down.
I mean, yeah, a couple Qs from Ezreal.
Oh, no.
That's disastrous.
It's a hard engage in onto him. He's just gone already. The flash force, though, by Sniper's ultimate, and they're going to go in with the Moakai ult. They're chasing it on Core. Core is gone, but in the back line, it's Quid that's in trouble here from Umti and APA. Can they actually knock him down? Sniper fighting with him, and Quid is just making magic happen. You can't take down Quid. He gets the kill, but it's Sniper now left alone as they've died on the other side. TL wins on the left side of the fight, takes out FBI, and it is Quid and Sniper running from the hills, trying to get out of there. You can see the recall does finish. Sniper might not have an easy way out, trying to get back towards his team. Searing charge in, flash over the wall. APA across the veil, still looking to chase, but Quid is coming back. If he over chases, he could run right in onto the Jayce here and get taken down. I
think at the very start of that, 100 Thieves just overplayed their hand. Eyla was going for a big flank when really they had total control of the river, and they could have just kept playing that poke game in the river. So Team Liquid, given a bit of a lifeline back into this game with this pick they were able to pull off onto Eyla, who's spotted right there out by Impact.
Yeah, they immediately spot him out, and when we saw 100 Thieves have problems before, Yeon able to flash that sniper ult wasn't necessarily coordinated with the Moakai ult either, and APA, even though Sniper does jump onto him, he's still able to get into the back of this fight as well. He's not completely taken out of it.
Yeah, and Impact played that fight really well. How often do you see a Rumble managing to solo kill an Ezreal, especially one that has 8 kills? So really well played there by Impact.
FBI got so aggressive. I think they got a little bit excited. You know, he shifted and flashed over the wall to try to chase in, and Impact says, no, you can't do that. I am fed. I am still strong. You won a couple fights, but you're going to have to calm down. FBI, though, soloing up the dragon. This will move them to Soul Point now. So that is their 3rd dragon. It is Hextech Soul, incredibly powerful. And just the individual stats are always nice. The ability, hasten, attack speed. So 100 Thieves now really getting close to potentially securing this game. They were down a lot early, but they fought valiantly back. And more Ornn upgrades are coming through. He's level 15 now, so going to have another ready.
And they should have control in these 5v5s as we see River clearing out kind of the Baron vision that TL were able to set up while they were getting that 100 Thieves rather, were getting that 3rd Drake. But again, like, we just want to see patience from them, right? Because I do think they can pull off these flanking plays. They can play with fog. And we see Eyla kind of marking, tracking where TL are coming up
going down so fast. I think TL are just too late. I think the Baron is just going to be dead here, down to 3K. Eyla is in position to keep Umti out. No shot at a contest. 100 Thieves grab the Baron. Maybe going to lose a tier 2 mid for it, but honestly, who cares? That is well worth the trade.
Yeah, and I mean, that's the kind of more patient setup that we'd like to see from them, or just, you know, focus the Baron, recognizing that they do have ultimates up. They can take a 5v5 if TL decide to challenge them in the pit.
And I do wonder, especially with FBI on the team, if he's able to pull them back into normalcy after they went a little over-aggressive. Just because of the leadership they've talked about in the past. And last year, 100 Thieves would have these bloody games that just stayed bloody forever. But it actually does feel like they said, okay, that was too aggressive. Let's use the Moakai saplings. Let's properly set up the Baron. And they secured it. Now, I could have just cast or cursed them as they're doing a fairly aggressive-looking 3-2 split with the Baron. But let's see how they play this out.
And look at where Yeon is with Umti on the side. They're looking for a potential deep flank, but 100 Thieves are just cheating towards top lane, knowing that that's the only angle they could come from. So there's not really much of a look here. Yeon just trying to get some poke in onto Sniper as they chip away at it. And I think Umti is just too far away from the rest of his team. Even if he looks for the flank, I don't feel like it would work.
Umti's having a tough game. 11 deaths already.
A tough split, to be honest, so far.
It has been. I've put in the request to see if he wins this game, how it ranks in all-time deaths in a win in LCS.
Oh, no.
Because he's 11 of the 17 deaths. Now, I'd say at least half of them have been necessary. So the most actually all-time is 10.
Wow.
If he's able to win this game, he would have the record.
It's looking tough to win this game. We'll see if they can pull it back. APA on the side here, looking for Eyla. Sidesteps both of the spells. Twofold Hex and the Weirding are both going to whiff, and the cannon will finish off that top lane and hit. Sniper escorting this cannon in towards mid lane here. Will get taken down. But still, the push so far going great for 100 Thieves. Already a 2,500 plus Baron power play.
Yeah, that was a really nice setup from 100 Thieves, starting with that topside push from Quid kind of hovering. And this team does a lot of poke.
That's a fed
That
Ezreal.
is what they were designed to do.
Level 16 Ezreal ultimate.
And now it's going to allow them to siege this base really well with Baron.
Nice Arcane Shift back. Sniper going to let the ulti rip just to kind of buy some space. Yeon not going to elect to use any summoners there. Barely does not have the flash. You can see Umti on the side. The Equalizer's going to get dropped. Locket going to be popped immediately in answer. Umti, will he get found? He flashes back. He's going to go right back in, but it is onto a tanky member there. Quid trying to survive in the back line. They kill APA. Impact looks like he's going to fall. The Zonia's only going to buy some time. Make a pose as you watch the rest of your team fall. FBI shifts over the wall, trying to take down Umti, but he's going to not be able to do it. Yeon knocked against the wall, stunned up, taken down. On the other side is Quid getting knocked down.
Is that enough?
TL, maybe, just maybe hold on.
They might have. It's just Umti and Core alive. It's just tanks for 100 Thieves, so they're actually going to bail out of this one. It looked like it could have been all of it, but TL got just enough damage out to kill Quid and FBI.
FBI is getting way too spicy in these fights, man. Some of these shifts, he is going right in.
He's feeling himself. Well, they did say he's a leader, but he's also still a gremlin. So
Yeah, he like
did
Jatt said, he can get them in the comments. I don't know what that Ezreal was doing, but don't worry, guys. We can still win this.
My gosh. So there's a lot of significance in this game. So the winner of this series does advance to the America stage.
Yep.
They'll play at the end of the day as well to see who gets the #1 and #2 seed from the north. But there's a death stat still. The all-time death record for previous LCS in a game is actually 11. So Umti he already has the LTA record. He's tied it for deaths in a game if he does one more time, which was, I was on the edge of my seat.
In LCS history?
In a game.
Not even just in a win, in a game.
In a game.
Wait, really?
Is 11.
Wow.
So he's tied for that
shocked,
record right
actually.
now.
Some of those early LCS games were
Get me in there. I can break that easy.
Yes,
That's light
It's
work.
hard. The game has to last. But it's actually hard because if you die 11 times, the game usually ends before #12.
Maybe with that attitude, Jatt.
It's like if you ever tried to get 20 deaths in an ARAM, like it's a little
It's
tricky.
tough.
The
It's
death
tough.
timers get long.
I think you're just not trying hard.
All right, well, it is going to be Soul Point here, 400 Thieves, Hextech Soul. TL definitely does not want to give this up. They're trying to move in through mid lane. APA on the side here, obviously, is marked again by Quid, who has been so strong. They're just rushing it down. Umti,
that's just going to be Soul.
If he goes in, he's giving up his life, so they elect not to do it. Soul is given over, and now the slow immediately displayed there by Quid. Nice backstep on the weirding. As 100 Thieves pushing forward, but they're going to try to turn this around, looking for the engage onto Quid. Quid could be in some trouble, but APA is just getting rocked, and APA is gone already. FBI is low, but FBI is standing. He is firing, and he is taking down Umti. And now Quid going forward, looking to get a kill. He has the GA to come right back, and I think that is going to be that. 100 Thieves are wiping TL off the map.
And that is just Quid having such a massive game. The instant he started marking APA's Aurora, Aurora was 5-0. It's 5-5 at this point. He could just not be effective.
100 Thieves marching on the Nexus. What a comeback. What a start to this series. They were the underdogs, but it's time to stand up and take notice, Team Liquid, because 100 Thieves are here to fight.
They're definitely here to fight, and that's how they won this game, right? That was amazing from 100 Thieves getting set behind. It looked like Impact was just going to absolutely roll over these fights. When APA was getting into these fights, as you pointed out, Jatt, there was one point where he just did not get any kills after 5, and it was through these 5v5 setups, Quid in particular, marking the flanks. They were absolutely able to destroy them in team fights.
Heads up, this is an LTA public service announcement. The LTA will be back in the main arena next week at the usual time, but only on Sunday. There will be no show on Saturday, so make sure you tune in next Sunday to see who will take the final tickets to Brazil and who will have to wait for Split 2. We're headed to a break before Game 2. Don't go anywhere.